So if you want to creep me out, there's a really easy way to do it. Just find a kid that can give you a death stare that indicates that his soul has left the building. Works every time.
Put the bunny back in the box.
Starring amongst others, Taylor Schilling, Jackson Robert Scott and Colm Feore, directed by Nicholas McCarthy off of a screenplay by Jeff Buhler. This is my review for The Prodigy. The Prodigy focuses on Taylor Schilling's character, Sarah. Her and her husband have a child, but that child is born at the exact moment a serial killer with a tendency to steal people's hands, it's pretty disgusting, dies. He's shot and he's killed, and it soon becomes apparent that something very untoward is happening to their child. He's starting to develop pretty scary tendencies, and it doesn't take them long to realise that he may have another soul inhabiting his body. Okay, so first up, this review may seem late, but we've just got it here in the UK this week. It's only just come out, and it's one I've been interesting to see because I really like Taylor Schilling. Orange is the New Black is a show that I think has run out of steam a little bit. I'm glad it's finishing when it is, but I've really liked her in it, even though Piper can be a bit of a dick. So I was interested to see her in a film. She was also great in Argo as well. So yeah, she had my interest. And the fact that it was a horror as well. I've been having more and more into horror movies since I've been doing this channel. I'm not really sure why. I've always liked them, but now I kind of actively seek them out a lot of the time. So yeah, this was one I was always going to watch. And for the most part, I wasn't that disappointed with it. There's a lot of things I think that works. In particular, Jackson Robert Scott as Miles, who is really, really creepy. Sometimes it feels like it's a bit oversold how creepy he is. He has this way of talking without emoting, which is kind of necessary for this character, for what this child is going through. But it can get a little bit dry as time goes on. But when he really commits to the evilness that's inside him, he's so good in this role. He has an ability to just give this blank stare. Like I joked about at the start, it's like the soul has left the body. Genuinely does with this kid. I'll be a little terrified to actually meet him in person. I'm sure he's lovely. But he's able to just look and to just stare, and there's just nothing going on behind the eyes. And performances across the board, actually, are pretty decent in this one. Taylor Schilling's great. She deals with some tough material here. She deals with moments that really test her as an actress, and she gets through them all. She gets through them admirably well. It's a very, very strong performance from her. The part of her husband, played by Peter Mooney, he doesn't get quite as much to do because he's off screen for a lot of the movie. He doesn't show up for a lot of the integral moments. All the heavy lifting really is left to Taylor Schilling to do. She's the one who's finding out what's going on with her child and seeing how scary and terrifying and evil he's becoming as time goes on. And the plot itself is a pretty good one as well. I mean, it's not exactly groundbreakingly new. The idea of somebody dying and their soul transferring into another body has been told before. There's a season 1 episode of The X-Files that springs to mind immediately. Pretty good episode. The difference is with this one, though, and I'm sure it must have been done somewhere before, is that the soul isn't transferred in this one to another sort of adult. It's to somebody that's being born in that exact moment. And it's a very, very interesting story, I think, to just whether this kid can be saved, like whether he can get this soul out of him or whether he's doomed to be an evil murdering psychopath forever. And as a quick aside, the movie poster for this one, What's Wrong with Miles, written at the bottom, I mean, it's in the synopsis for the movie What's Wrong with Miles, so I don't quite understand why they're trying to put an air of mystery onto it, because within the first 5 minutes of this movie, you know exactly what's wrong with Miles. He's got a serial killer inside him in a non-creepy way. But I suppose it's still creepy, but it's not that kind of creepy. His soul and the serial killer's soul are battling for control of this one body. And yeah, as I say, a very interesting story. It takes some surprises along the way as well. It goes into some directions that I wasn't expecting, including a very dark direction towards the end that I had a feeling they may go towards, but I didn't know if they'd actually have the balls to do it. And credit to them for actually going down that particular path. Being vague, spoilers, but yeah, the ending wasn't what I expected it to be, and I like that. I like it when movies can surprise me and don't go down the predictable route, and for me, this wasn't predictable. That being said, it's not a perfect movie. I mean, its runtime is pretty brief. It's not there for a huge amount of time, which I like. It's a very breezy film, but there just seems to be elements of the plot that just haven't really been thought through a lot. For example, Sarah is told that he's coming up to his 8th birthday now, so you need to try and sort this out before then, otherwise he'll turn forever. Like, why his 8th birthday? And the logic given behind it is that the person who's helping her, who's given her this information, who is familiar with this whole reincarnation idea, is that he experienced a situation before where a kid at that age lost his soul completely. But only one, so I don't know why he thinks that every kid is going to lose it. It just seems something that's just forced in to try and give things a sense of urgency, and really it didn't need it. it didn't need that added little layer to it because it was just as effective without that. The movie is a horror, and it's not overly big on scares, in all honesty. It's very creepy in places. As I say, dead eyes, creepy. But it's not sort of jump scare creepy. And there's times where it tries to be. There's times where this is being set up for a jump scare, and it feels like I'm saying this a lot in movies lately, but they're just predictable. They're predictable jump scares, and they don't offer anything original to the whole jump scare genre. And it's always disappointing when that happens. When you can see a jump scare coming a mile off, you're more likely to roll your eyes at the scare itself than actually kind of jump along with it. That's my jumping impression. But overall, I found this to be an enjoyable movie. I had a good time with it. Performances are solid. The story was interesting enough. I think it could have gone a bit further with some of the things that it was trying to do. It plays it safe in a lot of ways. But then, as I say, it does get to that ending, and it did surprise me with doing something wholly unexpected. So, yeah, a mixed bag, but erring on the side of positive, I think, overall. I'm going to give The Prodigy a 7 out of 10. Have you seen The Prodigy yet? If so, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. What's your favourite horror movie of the year so far as well? We've had a couple already. Which one's been your best? Thank you very much for watching this video. Do hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed it and you'd like to see more of them. You can follow me on Twitter as well, @JoeJulians. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you on the next video.